In the urban core of Portland, Oregon, the community of Adsidio, a New Nazarene congregation, just 4 years old, is making a difference in the life of homeless men. Adsidio strives to create a caring, incarnational community of belonging, encouragement, and discipleship. Can a homeless white supremacist whose life has been shaped by drugs, lengthy prison stays, and gang warfare find the love of God when he meets this faith community?
I'm Larry. I used to be the general in a racist group in the United States. My dad was one of the founding fathers of the Hells Angels in the Oakland chapter, and I grew up kind of always around all them people. My whole family's pretty dysfunctional. We're all crystal meth heads and been cooking dope all our lives, nieces and nephews, everybody else. And my grandpa taught me how to cook dope. And it's been all that time since. Went to prison the first time in 1974 in Arizona for a meth lab, 75 in Utah, and then from 75 until 2001, in and out of Utah prison most of my life. Got out 3 years ago. Fell right back in the same stuff. Got off the bus in Salt Lake and just walked a block away and ran into one of my partners and ended up right back in the same thing. Running with the gangs. Yeah, I started SAC in Salt Lake City in 1978 and built it into, it's about 500 people now. Was the general of it, the head guy, founder, and SAC Sacred Aryan Christians. It's just a white separatist group. It's not an easy life. Like, I get calls in the middle of the night, have to go settle disputes because the city of Salt Lake's split up into gang territories, you know, and I have to go settle disputes all over. And that happened anytime I got out, including this last time. As soon as I got out, that's what started happening. I have to go step in, make peace, or decide to war, whatever, you know. I was trying to stay away from drugs pretty much, but it wasn't working too good up here. And I was talking to people out on the bridge by the Portland Rescue Mission. They were telling me about this faith-based program. So I thought, I had a little bit of Bible stuff, you know, but it was all the wrong parts of the Bible. Old Testament, where you can twist it pretty much anyway, for any philosophy you got, you know.
Larry had just entered into the program after coming out from Utah and landed here in Portland. It was really only a few days from the time that he was entered into the program to when we served down there. And so he was just cooking in the kitchen, serving in the kitchen, and we showed up for our regular time and just started connecting with Larry.
I was working in the kitchen. They came down to a feed. Jim's wife, Gina, invited me out to this church out here, so I came out here just to check it out. Seeing the pastor with tattoos and thought, yeah, this is going to work.
When we started this church and planted the church, our whole focus was really to start a pair-style ministry, again, for a church to come into a neighborhood and learn how to be a gift back to the neighborhood. Adsidio is a Latin term that means to sit, stand, or be at one side. And now we feel like that's our community's mission as we have opportunity to illustrate the mission of God. As we have been called to go and make disciples, we have a chance to come alongside of people inside of that process and journey of becoming disciples. We become disciple makers one to another, and so we don't think we can do that without really becoming integrated into one another's lives.
This just felt comfortable. It just felt like home. Just felt, you know, people accepted you right off the bat for no matter what your past was or anything, you know, they just made you feel comfortable. And that's what I needed at that time. I wasn't really a believer yet. I mean, I just started reading the Bible and doing that. But things were happening in my life, like I was struggling hard. I'd be stressing about it. Something would come over me. I just felt like, hey, I need to let this go and just relax. Take it as you can, do the best you can. And I think that was God touching me, my life and that,
We have a passage of scripture that we kind of keep in front of us all the time as we try to think of, Christ inside of the story and as he approached people in the Gospels, whether it was after the Sermon on the Mount and he came off that mountainside and he had a great following and people were really excited and they were ready to take on the world and illustrate this new kingdom. You can see the picture starting to take shape and form in Matthew chapter 8 when all of a sudden the very first person that comes across his path and now really tests the desire of the crowd is a leper.
Getting pretty heavily involved out here in the church in Encidio, and it felt right, it felt good. Started praying a lot, reading the Bible, which I'd never done before. I can humble myself and let people care about me and love me and stuff. And I never had that before. And that's the main thing. I just feel him in my heart now, I don't want to hurt people anymore. I want to do other things. I want to pay back. I want to help people. I'd love to go to some country and build a church. That'd be fantastic. There's a favorite passage that Jesus said, do as you would be done. And that just thought, I don't remember nothing when I usually read it, but that stuck in my head. And it's just stayed there, That's a pretty simple thing. Not a lot of the world does it today, but I think if they did, it'd probably be a better place to live. I'm Larry, and I'm in the church, and I'm part of the body of Christ.